Alright. After finishing Sans Use Part 3 in this kahuna of a video, I decided to step back a bit and do something a little more casual that was also Undertale related, because I know that's what a lot of you are here for. I was pretty stumped for ideas until I remembered that Undertale has some pretty interesting food items, and because I like food, I decided that I should be making a video rating all of these foods from a 1 to 10 scale. I'll be basing my rankings off of the descriptions given by the game and my own personal preference. Now, to save myself the trouble of describing what each number represents, I'll flash a little scale on the screen right now. Quick disclaimer, I will not be making these foods in real life, and my judgments are strictly speculation. I am not a cook. Anyways, there are quite a large number of consumables in Undertale, and although some of the healing items, like the bandage and the bad memory, aren't actually food items, I'll still rank them because why the heck not? Because of the large number of items, I'll be going decently fast with my rankings, so without further ado, let's get going. Bandage. It's apparently been used several times and is surprisingly not the grossest thing on this list, but I still wouldn't stick it in my mouth. 2 out of 10. Monster candy. It tastes like licorice, but it also doesn't for some reason, and it needs to make up its mind. Licorice is average though, so 5 out of 10. Spider cider. And there's something more disgusting than the bandage. I don't think there's anyone on the planet willing to try a liquid made out of spiders. 1 out of 10. Spider donut. The batter contains spider cider in it, and as much as I like donuts, I'm not touching it. 1 out of 10. Butterscotch pie. Fun fact, I've actually eaten a cinnamon butterscotch pie before, and it's pretty amazing. 10 out of 10. Snail pie. Oh my gosh, why is this a thing? I know there are people who actually like eating snails, but in pie form? Who knows? Maybe the crust would be good. I do like pie crust. 3 out of 10. Snowman piece. We could look at this and rate it based on the taste of snow, but this item specifically states snowman piece. And thinking about it, the snowman is a sentient being, and if you eat it, you would essentially be eating monster flesh. For that implication, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. Nice cream. I'm a big ice cream fan, so this one gets quite a few points. It gets even more points because nice cream has a compliment on its wrapper, which is pretty nice. There are also 21 different flavors, which is also pretty amazing. 9 out of 10. Bicycle. It's essentially just a regular popsicle with 2 sticks stuck together. 6 out of 10. Unicycle. This is just a regular popsicle. 5 out of 10. Cinnamon bunny. I already love cinnamon rolls to begin with, but a cinnamon roll that's shaped like a bunny? 8 out of 10. Astronaut food. I've never actually tried astronaut food in real life, but it does sound interesting. 7 out of 10. Crab apple. I'm actually really digging these foods that are in the shape of animals. Too bad apples aren't that high on my favorite foods list. 5 out of 10. Sea tea. The water is apparently made out of glowing marsh water, which is disgusting. I'm also not a tea person because coffee is king. It's cool that it glows though. 3 out of 10. Abandoned quiche. Now, quiche to begin with is actually pretty decent in my opinion, but it's stated that this quiche is psychologically damaged, which confuses me immensely. Does this imply that all foods in the game can feel emotion in some way, or maybe the quiche itself is sentient? I don't know, but that raises some weird implications. Still, quiche is quiche. 6 out of 10. Timmy flakes. It's just torn up colored construction paper. It's not the worst thing on this list, and it's a lot more appetizing than the liquid spiders or the snail pie. I remember when I was younger, I used to watch this video non-stop about a commercial for Temmy Flakes. And I don't know if watching it on repeat has brainwashed me, but there's just something weirdly appetizing about them. 5 out of 10. Dog salad. According to the flavor text, it apparently contains bones, fried tennis balls, and literal garbage. Yeah, I'm okay. 1 out of 10. Instant noodles. I'm someone who finds instant noodles pretty enjoyable. They aren't my favorite thing in the world, but they're still pretty great. And no, they are not better dry. I know the genocide run is supposed to send players the message that killing is wrong and there's consequences for your actions, but the real message it's trying to send is that anyone who enjoys instant noodles dry are psycho murderers. And if there's anyone watching this video who likes instant noodles dry, please don't go after me. 7 out of 10. Hot dog. Normally I find hot dogs pretty good, but the way the description says meat, quote unquote, implies that hot dogs aren't actually made of meat, and are instead made out of whatever the hell water sausages are. And if this water sausage is what I'm thinking it is, 2 out of 10. Hot cat. Same as the dubious hot dogs, but instead it has cat ears on it, and hey, the extra addition gives it some more credit. 3 out of 10. Junk food. It is literally just garbage. If you were to eat this, you would be eating garbage. How does this thing heal 17 HP? 1 out of 10. Hush puppy. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to be ranked. The flavor text describes it as a spell that prevents dogs from casting magic. Despite that, it still heals the player, making it a consumable. I think this could be a reference to the food hush puppies, which are just fried dough balls, and you know that I love balls. 8 out of 10. Starfait. This actually looks really delicious. Parfaits are already pretty good on their own, but this one is made out of stars. I mean, who wouldn't want to eat a star? 9 out of 10. Glamburger. My enjoyment of hamburgers has actually lessened throughout the year, and I don't think one made out of edible glitter and sequins is gonna help me like them again. 4 out of 10. Legendary hero. I'm a pretty big sandwich guy. Sandwiches are pretty awesome, and the fact that it's in the shape of a sword, something else I also really like, makes it even better. 9 out of 10. Face steak. I adore steak and would have probably ranked this as a solid 10 if it wasn't for the fact that it's not actually made out of real meat. That does actually seem pretty understandable though, because the underground doesn't actually contain any livestock, so there's no possible way they can actually get meat. But wait, if there isn't any livestock, that means there's no milk, and if they don't have any milk, how did they get ice cream? 6 out of 10. Potato chips. They're stated to be regular old potato chips, just spelled weirdly. Potato chips aren't my favorite thing in the world, but they're decent if I'm hungry. 7 out of 10. Bad memory. This is something that can only be speculated on, but because of the name Bad Memory and the fact that it can damage the player, I feel like if you took a bite out of one, a cringy memory resurfaces, like the time you tell a joke in the middle of class and no one laughs. Yeah, I'm okay with not consuming this one. 1 out of 10. Last dream. They're described as the goal of determination, which probably means that these last dreams are the reason why an individual's determination even exists. So, in theory, eating one will probably give someone an excessive amount of determination, and God knows I need that right now because school has been rough. 8 out of 10. Puppy dough ice cream. If you've never heard of this item, then I don't blame you. It was an item that was cut from the game, but I'm still adding it because why not? It's still food with a decent enough description for me to rate. The rest of the foods listed will be cut items as well. Now, I'm gonna assume that the ice cream was made by the dogs and not from dogs because of what the flavor text says, but even so. I love dogs, but I don't think letting them make my ice cream is very sanitary. Who knows, it might even taste decent. 5 out of 10. Pumpkin rings. They're essentially just onion rings, but in pumpkin form. I'm already not a big fan of onion rings, and the thought of a deep-fried pumpkin doesn't seem that appetizing to me. But I do think it being ring-shaped is still pretty neat. 4 out of 10. Rock candy. It is just a rock. The steps to making rock candy are to literally find a rock and then eat it. The worst part was I've actually tried this before. I wasn't the smartest person when I was 7. 1 out of 10. Croquet roll. You just eat fried dough, and you also get a mallet to go along with it. And I'm not the biggest fan of fried dough, but I do like mallets. 7 out of 10. Ghost fruit. I'm actually confused on how this one would work. It's a fruit that at the same time is a ghost. Ghosts can't actually be touched, so does it mean it'll go right through you? At the same time, it does heal you though. This also ties back into the theory that all food in Undertale is sentient, which would be horrifying. 3 out of 10. Stoic onion. Like I said before, I'm not really a big onion person, despite all of its complex layers. Maybe if I was taller, green, and had a Scottish accent, I'd enjoy them more. 2 out of 10. Alright, so that was all the food in Undertale rated. If you want to know the average scores of the food in each area, the Ruins had an average score of 4, Snowdin had an average of 6.4, Waterfall had an average of 4.5, and the Hotlands had an average of 5.2. meaning that out of all the locations in Undertale, Snowdin has my favorite food. Now, if you do the math and find out I'm wrong, I'm doing the math on a calculator at 1 in the morning. But what about you? Leave a comment below or make your own video ranking these foods, and thanks for watching mine.